It's 16 minutes after 3, and Mawkin have joined me.
Hello.
Guys, what can I say? Pete and David and James, absolutely fantastic. We got the fiddle, we got the guitar, we got the double bass. Pete, a hell of a thing lumping a double bass round. I guess you don't take the tube that often.
No, I haven't attempted it yet.
I mean, it is. I mean, what do you decide? You know, the harmonica players of this world get away with it light, don't they, really?
Absolutely, yeah.
But the double bass, great. I mean, we used the double bass yesterday. We did some recording in Reading with the dry basses, and it's great. The double bass got a really lovely feel to it, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's great fun playing it on stage.
Yeah, good stuff. So you got Pete on double bass, you got David on guitar here. I was just looking for the make, but it sounds like a Martin, but it doesn't look.
Well, it's quite special, this one. My brother James here, he actually made it for me.
I was going to say, I was looking for the make, and I thought, don't recognise that at all. It's got a good sound, but
He's
I don't
sitting next to you. Hi.
yeah, clearly. What's it called, James? Is it called the James?
It's called a guitar.
Yeah. But see, I mean, to make it from scratch, I remember at school I wanted to make one. I wanted to make a solid. I went to Gridley Miskin, the timber merchant, bought it, carved out the neck, did everything, and after that, it never got a neck on it. I had the body, and I used to hold the body and pretend I was playing it as a kid, but I never got around to the neck because it's the measurements. I mean, that's pretty tricky bit, getting the 12th fret equidistant between the bridge and the neck.
Yeah, it does require some measuring. It's not an easy thing. It's just to be very accurate.
This can't be your first one. Have you done this for a long time?
That was the first guitar I've made. I made a couple of guitars, and I'm a violin maker, really, is what I do.
Oh, you're cheating. You're already making instruments.
Yeah.
You make violins?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Where did you learn your craft?
I did it in London, London Guildhall. It's now London Metropolitan University, I think.
Right.
It's on Whitechapel. It used to be the College of Furniture Making. And they do guitars and violins and pianos and flutes and all sorts of wooden
it's a sort of
things.
magical, mystical thing to me, making a violin and getting the wood to bend and also getting the sound right, because you can cobble something together, but I say anyone, but someone can make a guitar, but it doesn't mean it's got a good sound. What's the trick to getting to knowing what it's going to sound like?
Well, you never know what it's going to sound like until it's been put together and strung up. But it's mostly what they call plate tuning, so the top and the back, certainly on a violin, quite similar on the guitar. You can thickness certain areas, so taking wood off, and it provides harmonics to come out. So it's all about plate tuning. It's called.
Yeah, so I mean, it's keeping the strings nice and low without them buzzing or anything.
Oh, that's just setup. That's
easy. I like that. I love it.
That's a personal preference.
Yeah.
That's setup. Yeah.
That's great. And the old violin there, my parents tried to make me play violin when I was a kid, but I was never very good at it. I bought a mandolin instead because it's the same tuning.
Okay, yeah.
So
and it has frets.
Yeah. So you know where you are, roughly. Very good. So the band, David, the name Mawkin, it sounds very Dickensian. Sounds like something he'd have made up, Mr. Mawkin.
It's an old Essex dialect word, actually. It means scruffy, unkempt person.
Oh, love it.
And
perfect then.
Yeah, so we were all students at the time, and we were all quite scruffy. So we decided that kind of fit the bill, really.
Whereabouts in Essex are you two from?
Just outside of Harlow.
Oh, right.
Yeah, less said that, but better, really. But
some people have got to come from there. But Pete, you're from Henley.
Yeah, lived in Henley all my life.
Henley boys. So how did you meet the two Mawkin boys?
It was a couple of years ago at a session called the Big Session Festival in Leicestershire, I think it is.
Yeah, Derby, I think. Derby.
Yeah, I was
Hatton Park.
Yeah.
And I had a gig there with a singer called Megan Henwood, and I met these guys. I saw them on stage, and they saw me play, and they thought,
we've got to snap him up. Love at first sight.
Anyone that's as tall as the double bass he plays is going to be worth it, really. And your drummer's High Wycombe.
Yeah. Lee Richardson is probably sitting at home listening to this. So he wanted to be here, but I don't think he wanted to carry all the drum kit in.
Slacker. What a slacker. Just sitting at home drinking tea. Couldn't be bothered with a snare or one of those beat boxes or anything like that.
Yeah, the cajon seems to have taken a bit of a popularity, in the recent years. The little box thing.
That's right. Yeah, I know a few people that use those.
But he's not a fan of that. He's an old school
traditionalist
sort of guy. Yeah, he
likes
the little small jazz.
He's probably stayed at home to practice, if truth be known. Really.
Yeah, we can only hope.
I love it. There are a million drummer jokes, which we won't tell any now. We may tell some later. Are you going to play something for us?
Yes.
I guess so. You've got the instruments here, so it's a given, I guess.
Yeah, we're on the road over the next couple of weeks or so, over March, and this is kind of a new song for us, and the idea this time round, we normally kind of hide our way into a little studio and record an album, and then we tour it
And then people come up to us after the shows and go, "My word, you sound so different to the record," you know. So we thought we'd flip that process on its head and start touring first and then release the album. So
Okay.
we're trying out some new material on these shows. So this is one of the new.
It's quite often though, isn't it, when you put something down and you tour it, and organically it changes shape.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, I
it
think
gets
especially
faster, changes. Yeah.
with folk music, I think that's definitely the case.
Yeah.
It seems to kind of just grow and evolve as.
So we
each
do the
night-
tour, finally hone it, and that's where it's probably going to end up. And then
Yeah.
record it. Makes
and
sense.
then record it.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So that's what we're doing this year.
Okay, so what's one of the hot ones you're playing out on the road?
This is a song called "I Can Hew," which is an old song about mining coal. To be honest, so it's from the north, and I think it was originally written by a guy called David Dodds.
Okay,
Should we give it a go?
Yeah.
It's a sort of reduced set, you know.
that's fine.
The three of us. Here we go. Ready,
Oh,
boys?
hang on.
Cool.
Okay.
Here we go. On St. Monday's day, it's well I do admire when I sit at home by my own coal fire. Then it's off to the pub for a glass or two. For to work on a Monday, that would never do. Well, I like my whiskey and I like my beer. I'll drink 14 pints and I'll not feel clear. I can hold my beer as good as any man, and I'll dance and sing as long as I can. I can do, boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the call, I can dance and shout. I can hear, boys, coal is black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. Well, my boy's 14, he's a strapping lad, and he'll go to the pit soon, just like his dad. And when Friday comes, we'll pick up his pay, and we'll drink together to round up the day. I can hear, boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the coal, I can dance and shout. I can hear, boys, coal that's black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. I can hear, boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the coal, I can dance and shout. I can hear, boys, coal that's black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down the mine. And it's when I'm dead, oh, I know full well I'll not go to heaven, I am bound for hell. And my pick and shovel, old Nick he'll admire. and he'll set me hewing coal for his own fire. I can hear, boys, I can hack it out. I can hear the coal, I can dance and shout. I can hear you, boys, coal is black and fine. I'm a collier lad working down a mine.
Yeah, fantastic. Great atmosphere. What an atmosphere that conjures up.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff. But, I mean, Northern song. You get your breath back. Some fiddling there, James, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very, very good. Very good. Yeah, but, I mean, do you go and trawl the country sort of Alan Lomax style to try and find stuff?
Definitely. Yeah, I think there's a definite need to definitely see which each kind of county can produce. There seems to be songs from Essex and Suffolk that's a lot about the countryside and farming and stuff like that. And you find that a lot of these traditional songs are kind of relating back to the area where they come from. So obviously you get lots of mining songs from up north, or the Luddites sort of songs about, blowing up
Smashing machinery, yeah.
And
so you can't plug in for that one. You can't go electric for that one. You got to do that acoustic.
That'd be a bit against the
Luddite
rules,
song, absolutely, yeah.
So, but I find that interesting. I find that whole aspect of singing folk songs quite good.
Yeah, and I think they changed organically as well, folk songs over the centuries, that someone would hear something, because there's no recording, you'd hear something in the pub, you'd go home and imagine what you'd heard, and it would change slightly, and it'd be like Chinese whispers. So 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line, the song would sort of change shape. So you get the same song coming up in different areas, but in a slightly different way, slightly different tune, and certainly different words, because people will put their own words to a tune they'd heard.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, it happens all over. Yeah, I do that quite a lot.
That was quite a nice way of doing it, I think, then, that, organically it gets passed around.
Yeah, it's like a really massive, long jazz improvisation, really.
Yeah.
It just happens over years instead of...
I always worry when a jazz trio or something says, we're going to do our arrangement of... You mean I can't hear the tune anywhere? But it's interesting. A few years ago, I was looking at a book of songs from a shepherd on the South Downs in about the 1860s, 1870s. He had his book of songs. And in there was some American songs that he sang, from Stephen Foster songs. You think... How the heck did he get those? It might have been earlier, 1850, 1860, How did he get those? How did those get to a shepherd on the South Downs?
Probably in a pub somewhere.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. I work with another singer called Eliza Carthy. She's a fantastic singer to work with. And she sings a lot of songs. And one of the songs that we got to do with her on the last album we did, Bad Girls and Men, that's quite an interesting tune, because it started out in London and kind of came from that area, and then at some point it moved to America, and then Mama Cass recorded it, singing it as like an old blues number.
Yeah.
And then that sort of version of it then somehow managed to make its way back to the UK in a completely different way. So he started out with this big sort of 10-verse ballad, English style. As soon as it goes over to America, it seems to have been shrunk down to the bare essentials of like a blues song, and then it comes back again to England. And I find that kind of fascinating. But
a lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of stuff went from here, became the Appalachian music in the States, and then came back here. And you think that was ours originally.
Yeah.
But old songs like Matty Groves and things like that moved to the States, changed form, and then come back in another shape or form. We'll talk more in a moment with Pete and David and James in the studio. David, James, and Pete. Lee, the drummer, now really missing out. Wishes he'd come because I'm sitting here playing drums on the table. See, Lee, you're missing out, mate. Right. In fact, they're having second thoughts as we speak. Right. So you're coming up this week. The 8th, you're at the Anvil at Basingstoke, and then Northern Farm on the 13th.
Yeah, they're the local ones. So I think in between we're up north, up at Square Chapel Arts Centre up in Yorkshire.
Oh, great.
That's the 9th. So we're kind of doing a little bit and then having a break and having a little bit, having a bit of a break. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
I get you. You must get asked back because you're very good. I mean, people must say, "Well, when can he come back? When can he come back?"
Yeah, I think the Anvil we did maybe 3 years ago now.
Right.
We did Northern Farm probably about 2 years ago.
So they're ready for you now.
Yeah, they kind of they're good guys there, and they're very supportive. So can't wait to go back. Should be good.
Do you weave a few stories, because a lot of these songs have stories? Do you tell a few of the stories as you're playing?
Well, I don't know about telling stories. Generally talking rubbish down a microphone is what happens, to be honest.
Listen, I know all about that. Trust me, I've done it for a long time. But no, I mean, it's always good when someone knows what the song was about or where it's come from or its roots, because you sort of appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's very much in the folky tradition to do that, to explain the story behind the song. And we do that to a certain extent, depending on how much time we have.
When they start yawning, you stop, just play the songs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Right, now I fully expect you, James, to be getting into making double basses soon. You make guitars and fiddles. You're about to tell me you have, don't tell me.
I have recently just finished a double bass, and it's now gone. It's gone, and I've said goodbye to it. Yeah.
I'm a mind reader. That's incredible.
Yeah. It must have been written on my face.
So, which instruments haven't you made? Which would you find really, really tricky?
I tried to make a hurdy-gurdy once, and there's just so many little parts in it. And I tried to make an accordion once, and there was too many little parts in it that I gave up on both.
So anything with little parts, not good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get bored quite easily.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You've got to be pretty patient to make a violin, really.
Yeah, it's just there's loads of little key work inside those things, and it's the same pattern over and over and over.
Hurdy-gurdy's fine. It's so difficult to get a monkey these days, to be honest.
I used to play hurdy-gurdy in a band, actually.
Really? I love it.
Your monkey's here.
You're a useful character to have. You play lots of instruments. It's always good. I've said in the past that when I went over to County Clare once, and I phoned this local place, and I said, "Do you do traditional music?" He said, "Oh yes, we do." He said, "We got traditional music on tonight," and I said, "Oh great, I'll be down." I got there was the band playing Johnny B. Good and Roll Over Beethoven. And I went to the bar and he said, sure, you're the bloke that phoned earlier about the music. And I said, yeah. He said, you see, we got all the old traditional stuff you blokes from England like. I said, no, I wanted some Irish stuff, actually. Great. What else are you going to do for us, guys?
We're going to play something from our last album, from Crow, and it's a couple of tune sets. We thought we'd give you a little taster of our tune sets. So the first one is a polska from Sweden. In fact, that's called Skimnin Spolskan, which is a terrifying thing to try to say. And then it goes into an American banjo tune called Betsy Likens.
Which is lucky you got a banjo with you then. How are you going to do it without the banjo?
I want to know where your banjo is.
Oh, my banjo's at home. Yeah, if only I'd known.
Should we give that a go? You alright?
Yeah. That's good enough.
One, two, three, four.
Yeah, fantastic. I always love it when you know there are instruments, you know there's another one waiting to come in, like your bass beat, and you think, and he's second out, and then it's always good when an instrument just kicks in at the time when you feel it should kick in. Absolutely brilliant. So, Delarre, are you Channel Islands, you boys? Where's your origin?
France.
France, okay.
Yeah, so
well, quite close to the Channel Islands, really. What do you use? Old Huguenot stock or something?
I'm not too sure of it. I think our family's meant to be from the Loire Valley.
Yeah. Okay.
So a bit further south.
Go back and claim your wine then.
Yeah.
So we're back to claim it.
There is a chateau named after us. So,
is there?
Yeah, so somewhere down along the line there must be somebody in our family.
Chateau Delarre. But someone else has squandered it.
I expect my father.
It's gone somewhere. It's gone so absolutely fantastic. Let me say again, Northern Farm 13th, and the Anvil at Basingstoke on the 8th, Mawkin. And that's great. David and James and Pete, thank you so much for coming in. Absolutely fantastic.
It's been a real pleasure.
It's been our pleasure, really. 3:45, BBC Radio Berkshire.